Well, morning everybody. We had plans today of mowing hay and hauling some grain, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out. If you look up at the sky, you can see kind of got some weather moving in. We're supposed to have today dry, so I guess we'll see what we get into. But in the meantime, I'm going to finish up making this batch of feed here, and Dad just took the farm truck and second load of beans that we loaded yesterday back up to town here to sell. So I guess once I finish this, he gets back, we'll kind of evaluate what we're going to do and see what happens with the day, considering it looks like it's going to rain. Figure it out. We'll see you guys after a bit. Well, looking at the radar, kind of don't really know what to do. It looks like we might miss the rain. We might get rained on. Who knows? But regardless, we got work to do, so I guess I'm gonna take this truck, trailer down there, start loading beans. Dad's gonna be right behind me with the S1900 in his trailer, so we're gonna load out some beans and hopefully we don't get drowned in the process. And what's off to the west, that looks to be headed south, but there's a couple more patches of rain, if you watch the radar, that are still to the north of us, and they're kind of traveling towards the southeast, and they're north and west of us, so there's a potential we might get wet. But I guess we won't melt. We'll go load some beans. Hopefully we don't get rained out.
Actually, it's backwards. Can you just leave that hang on the side of the bed and turn it end for end and give me the motor? Is that possible? I know that's asking a lot. That's a heavy ditch.
Okay. That?
Yeah. I just about had you put it in backwards.
Hang on. Look to the side of the truck. Doing okay?
Yep.
I'm gonna grab the shield now instead of the auger.
Alright.
Yep.
I gotta let it down there.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna plug it in.
Okay. Okay, ready?
Yep.
what we just put in place is what's referred to as a sweep auger. There is a metal pipe welded in the center of that bin, and on the end of that auger there's a metal pipe that hangs down and it slips down in for a pivot point. There's an electric motor on the end and some auger flighting, a shield to keep you from getting tangled up in it, and then a handle. You use the handle to push it along. Yeah, it doesn't do a perfect job. You still have to sweep and shovel, but it sure beats having to shovel all that. We don't have a grain vac. It'd be nice to have one someday, but for now all we have on all of our bin operations is sweep augers, and it beats a shovel, that's for sure. But that's what we just got done doing, with putting that in that bin. So we're gonna finish loading this trailer out and get on the road with this first load. Well, Donahue's loaded, so I'm taking it up a little bit. Dad's gonna back up and start loading his hopper bottom. I'll probably be back before he's loaded. We'll finish loading him, and might be lunchtime by then, we'll see. But we're gonna get this one on down the road, get it dumped off, and be back. Cleaning this bin out. We'll get done here pretty directly. I'm loading the Donahue right now. Dad's uptown with the S1900 and his through haul trailer. Unloading. He'll be back pretty directly, but I'm in here loading. Periodically I have to run out and check my trailer. Well, overfill. Speaking of Dad, there he is. But anyways, we're in here loading beans. It's the inside of our 8,000 bushel bin down here at the North Farm. So we're going to get these beans loaded up, get this cleaned out. We'll be done hauling beans, at least for till harvest.
You okay? Just sit outside, Dad.
Tell me if I'm getting in trouble. What do you want me to do?
Whatever way works for you. Will that one work?
put it away. Ready?
Yep. Well, it feels nice out here. It's hot in there. It's nice out here. Well, we got everything put away down here. Bins swept up, cleaned out. So Dad's got a little bit in his truck and I've got a full load here. So run these up, dump them uptown, and put trucks away and move on to the next task for the day. Well, we're done hauling grain now. Put trucks away down there at the main farm. Now we're on to another project we got. So this is our barn down here at our north farm. You might have seen this in the video where we were cleaning out manure. Anyways, we are switching all of our baling to mechanized type baling. So you'll get to see some videos on that here pretty directly as we're rolling into the hay season here. But we like to use a 541C, which is a commercial Case IH baler, quarter turn chute. And we have New Holland stack wagons. There's one of them actually right over there. We'll use that. We actually have two of those. And we're actually in the process of working a deal on purchasing another 541C. And we're going to set that one up for an accumulator. So we're no longer going to be using kick baler or kick bale wagons. We've actually sold all of our kick bale wagons. And so now we're up here prepping another mow for being able to drive on with a skid steer. I'll show you a little bit of that over there here in a moment, but for right now, Dad's on his way up here with a skid steer. I'm gonna get him hitched onto this bale elevator here that's actually sold and get it out of here so we can get on to working on this. We'll go in a little more detail once we get this out of the way.
One year ago, we did a very similar project to what we're doing now. On this end of the barn, we took out a knee wall that was right here that went across here, and we removed that, and we used the timber from that to build this ramp because the beams in the barn lay different directions, and so being stacked as they were, we had to be able to get from that floor to this one and drive. So we built that bridge, and we took everything out of here. There's a lot of bad lumber, and we put in good lumber, you know, in place of it, and then screwed 3/4 plywood down on everything. And we also did this floor because we come in on that floor and turn to get in here, and anywhere you turn a skid steer, you just have boards that'll tear them loose. And that way we mechanized the hay last year. That's all that's left of this last year's hay. And we, in addition, we also put a little bit, years ago we took that granary out and we were mowing over it. We stacked up on there with the skid steer too. So now this year we're mechanizing the straw also because of we can't get help. And so this year we're going to do the straw the same way, except on this end of the barn. We'll go over here now so you can see a little bit what it looks like when you start. We've already moved the loose straw, and the coon and mice were in here and chewed it up really bad. So we've got most of the loose straw forked out of here now. So we just pulled we saw this the other day. We just pulled the knee wall out and dismantled it. So we're going to use that timber there to build the bridge. So now we're going to take the floor out of here. And the flooring that's no good, there's just some old barn doors and stuff. We're going to put them on the brush pile. We're going to remove all this flooring. Anything that's usable we'll put on here on this trailer. And anything that's no good, we're going to put on the truck and put it on the brush pile. Now under this mow, the beams are about 4 feet apart, 3 to 4 feet apart. Above our heads up here, there are a lot of beams stored up there. And they used to be scattered down through here, and they had junk up there, and there was coon crap. It was a mess. But anyway, I put them together. I might have used one or two when we did that hay mow years ago, but we're gonna bring our crane down and the big skid steer. And after this floor is out of here, we're gonna take beams from there and put in there and lay them. Like here we have like a 3-foot gap here, 3.5 foot. We're gonna add a beam there because that skid steer is heavy. So anywhere that skid steer is gonna be in the center of this mow turning, we're gonna beef it. We're gonna double the beams. So we'll be adding 1, 2, probably adding 3 or 4 in here just to make it stronger. And there's a couple up there that are no good. They're just all bark. We'll probably just make firewood out of them to get them down. And then once the beams are in, we'll put back the lumber that's good. And then a week ago, Cameron Carr, my pastor's son, come down and help me, and there was those beams up there were just stacked full of lumber, and there was coon poop. It was a real mess. And we sorted through that, and on that trailer are the good boards, and the junk boards we've already put on the burn. They're already actually burned. His grandpa lit the pile, but those are gone. So we've got that lumber plus what's here that's good, and we'll see how we come out. If we're short, we got a couple places we have some lumber stashed that we could also use. And then the last step is to put the plywood deck on. That makes it pretty. And we'll probably do this floor too, because we'll be turning on it. And then she'll be beautiful and ready for straw. So yeah, this year we're gonna do the straw the same way we did the hay. So I guess we'll begin.
That's about half of it tore out. We're gonna pack up for the day, go put tools away, go home and get some dinner. But we got half of it tore up. Most of this is just laying in here. There's a few places that are nailed, but most of it's just laying in. Some of it's not in real great shape. There's some stuff on that trailer we might end up pitching. There's some stuff on the truck we've already decided to nix. And there's some of this, like this board here, that's cracked clear across. We'll probably get rid of that, but we'll get all this lumber out of here and maybe move a little bit of these beams around, grab some new ones from up top over there and bring them in and place them probably mainly here in the center to beef it up, because you're going to be bringing that skid steer right in through this area right here, and you're going to be basically turning on this floor and stacking over there and then over here, or vice versa, however you want to do it, and then working your way back out. So probably want the center here pretty well beefed up, so that's what we're going to do, and make it just like the floor over there, and it'll be good to go. So guess we're going to call it a day.
So enough, and you might want to move your thermos too, because if that beam comes down, it would make